Hello and welcome to BW London podcast. So I'm doing a part 2 just to do a bit of a follow-up on the last video. But before I do that, I just want to say rest in peace, TRACI Braxton. Really sad to see yet another good soul go this year. She was easily, like I said, the favourite. She was funny. She was just good character, good people. She was real. We enjoyed her. But my reasoning behind it being a sacrifice, one, because the family is broke. Two, because the family is illuminated, and just like any other family that are illuminated, they do have to make sacrifice. There is no celebrity without close deaths next to them, and odd deaths and the similar death. There is no such thing. It just is what it is. And I said the evidence of that, they're hidden in plain sight, was the obvious one, Toni Braxton's movie that's coming out on the 2nd of April, which is also TRACI Braxton's birthday. Her movie Fallen Angel. I mean, the name in itself, it's everything. Ugh. It's just devastating. But just as with the age 27 being a popular age for sacrifice, so is 50. And in recent years, we've seen Michael Jackson go at 50, Bernie Mac go at 50, DMX go at 50, and they were all sacrifices. And there are good videos out there about that. I personally wasn't YouTubing at the time. I could still do it, I guess, but you know, there's something about it being in real time. It's emotional. And I also explained in the last video how much the mum is hustling. And she started hustling exactly 6 months and to the date almost of the movie Fallen Angel. But since from the 3rd, she was hustling on Twitter, and it just from September last year. And it's just a constant hustle because the family is broke. Their brokenness is public because they've been described as having a bankruptcy curse. But their brokenness is public, and I'll just say quickly, as I said in part 1, it's not our kind of broke. It is the broke that sits in their world, the broke within the mansion world. They're broke within that realm. And they're all broke. Most of the celebrities and the artists are broke. That's why we're hearing so much about wanting to buy the rights back to their music and so on, because they're pimped out and they're normally just happy for the fame. The money that they give them as starter has reduced to almost a quarter now in the music industry, because you can find people desperate enough. When the magicians go around and stuff, they look for the most desperate souls, you know, that will give up everything for fame. So I thought, let me go back to, as I am pretty confident that this sacrifice would have been orchestrated by Evelyn and Tony, because they're the ones hustling at the moment. I thought, well, let's go back 9 months in September and see what Toni Braxton is doing. And there you have it, just like her mum. She's launching something. She's launched in some kind of nude line and has been since, followed by the movie. The same thing is happening in the Kardashian family. They're launching 2 products right now. One is a cleaning something and something else. And in the wake of that, Robert Kardashian's sister has died. Their last management lady, she was murdered. One in December, one in February. So, you know, and there's possibly a third. I don't know if Astroworld and all that line up. I kind of see that as a separate sacrificial thing based on Kylie and Travis, but that's another story. But the fact is, this is what they do. And I'm going to take the time here to actually say that, because I am Christian, and this stuff is normalized for me in the Bible, very normalized. I make an attempt every year to read it from back to front because it's much more of an understanding story that way. I'm not sure why a lot of Christians don't. And whether you believe in Christianity or not, if you are a believer of the Illuminati in these sacrifices, one thing you have to recognize is that their battle is always against Jesus and Christianity. That's why everything is back to front, Bible back to front. They do the whole Catholic ceremony back to front. You know, it's always based on that. So whether you believe it or not, you may recognize that, hopefully. So what was my point? Right, so my point being that this is normalized for me in the Bible, because the Bible always addresses God, the one true God, with a capital G, and then it addresses many other gods with a lowercase g. It's got all these different gods that people, when they're the people outside of Israel, they're always worshipping a different type of God as opposed to the one true God. In fact, I'm going to bring up an example because I actually read it yesterday. It is 2nd Chronicles 33, 5-6. All right, let me go to it. Second Chronicles 33. Right, so it says there, this is the NIV version. In both courts of the temple of the Lord, he built altars to all the starry hosts. He sacrificed his children in the fire in the valley of Ben Hinnom, practiced divination and witchcraft, sought omens, and consulted mediums and spiritualists. He did much evil in the eyes of the Lord, arousing his anger. That kind of language is really standard in the Old Testament. And this is the exact same witchcraft and stuff that we are seeing today and what they use for their fame and their wealth. It is real. So, I just think it's important that, specifically, I'm speaking to Christians. If you are aware of this stuff, it's all well and good diving into it, but make sure you know your Bible and the actual scriptures. I just thought it worth saying that. But yeah, so back to point in terms of this, what yeah, I think those are the only two additional points that I found that were different. Well, in addition, that it wasn't just the mum launching 6 months before, it was also Tony, and they are seeking right now prosperity and to come out of brokenness. And this seems weird for people who don't come from this mindset or walk in the realms of elites and stuff like that, or don't read your Bible really. But this is very normal. And when these people enter illumination and knowledge, it's not just thrown at them all at once. Oh, you're going to have to sacrifice somebody. You move step by step. You will notice with anything that you do, if you get a little bit and a little bit more knowledge, it starts to make sense. Then you've got a whole crew of people who are also doing it too. More importantly, there's actual results. Money actually does come. Fame and fortune actually does come to you. So there's a real reason to do it. There's a really witchcraft and stuff is real. So I've got a feeling I'm preaching to the choir. But yeah, I just thought it worth adding those additional points. And once again, I say rest in peace to TRACI, sending love to her family, her children, her grandchildren, and all those that are feeling it. And I will add again that these people are human either way, and what happens to their souls after death is between them, God, and what's really going on. Us recognizing these spiritual practices that go on in the elite and in Hollywood, it just is what it is. And it's been spoken about way more openly now because the devil is truly coming forth. He's been able to shut people's eyes down, create more atheists than he's ever created because people don't even believe in any type of gods now. So far easier to fool them and bring them in. All right, well, thanks for listening.